Hello, AAYP members, AAYP visitors. You are most welcome to another episode of our monthly virtual fellowship. Yes, today, 19th of July, we are very delighted that we are hosting Dr. Joseph Mutyaba. I want to appreciate you all for having joined through. Talking to you is Brother Dennis Ogisha. I'll be the moderator, and I want to offer this guidance. Like I earlier on guided, we are going to begin with an opening prayer made by Comrade Kelea. That's Kelea. Please, I'm going to invite you just shortly to give the opening prayer. Immediately after the opening prayer, we'll have remarks from our one and only president and our leader. But on call, I want to take this opportunity to recognize our members who have already joined. Comrade Elizabeth, Comrade Joy, Brother Moses, you're welcome. We're also so humbled that we have our ASI leader for CUC, Pastor Justus Perez. Thank you for always giving us all the guidance and probably supporting us continually. We are glad to have you. Well, without further delay, I want to take this privilege to invite Comrade Claire. Claire, could you kindly unmute?
All right, good evening. Hope I'm audible.
Absolutely, you are.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Let's start our session with the word of prayer. Kind and loving Father in heaven, thank you so much for this beautiful evening, the day. Thank you so much for today. We thank you so much that we get to meet again as AAYP, as we are going to have this fellowship, a discussion. Be with us, lead us through all, and let us learn from each other. I pray for our speaker, and I pray for others who are coming in, joining in. Bless them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much, Comrade Claire. So, colleagues, like I guided, we'll keep interactively through the chat. Let us feel free to share something through the chat, a comment, a question. Please read it at an opportune time. But of course, later after the presentation, we'll have another chance to interact through the audio interaction. So again, I want you to join me and we take this honor to welcome our president, Madame Elena. Very simply by hitting the reaction button, you can give a hand clap, you can give a flower. We are virtually exchanging. Madam President, as you look at the chat, the members are going to express. Thank you, Comrade Joy. So together, we want to welcome you to offer opening remarks and then immediately invite us the speaker. Madam President, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Thank you for moderating this session. Colleagues, you are most welcome, and I hope you had a fruitful day. I just wish to welcome back all of you who are driving back from the burial. I understand some are still on the road. So we thank you and thank you for standing in with our pastor. Once again, we welcome you to our virtual fellowship as Association of Adventist Professionals. We usually have a monthly virtual fellowship, but we shall soon communicate. We have a physical fellowship, and please keep your eyes on the phone. We'll be letting you know. Today's fellowship, in the interest of time, as you understand, we're in a rushing world. And I think everyone here has heard of a friend or a colleague or who has had maybe a sudden death, or someone just doesn't wake up and someone has been fine. So we are pleased to have our family medical physician, who is actually a member of the association. And I must say that we are really blessed to have you, Dr. Joseph Mutyaba. Dr. Joseph is a family physician who obtained his bachelor's in 2013, 2014. He has a wide range of associations he has worked with, including UPMB. He worked with Franciscan Health Center, he has been a volunteer on Prime Radio for 5 years, and that opened up his doors for NTV. He's someone who is very passionate about physical wellness. No wonder he's a family physician who I've visited his clinic, and he has a long line. I must say that the Adventist Church is very proud of you, Dr. Mutyaba. The reports we get from Lubaga Hospital, I think you're one of the best. He's one of the best serving family physicians with the longest line, because they keep the data. So I have no doubt that we are going to be blessed in this fellowship. He also worked as a senior medical officer at Lifelink Hospital Namugongo and UMC Victoria Hospital in Bukoto. He also worked under Dr. Lawrence Mulindwa, where he transformed FUFA because of his passion in sports nutrition, psychology, player wellness. So he has, like I said, he has a wide range. He has a lot of knowledge about this, and we have no doubt he's the right person to speak to us because of his experience and his expertise and what he sees in the clinic. He represents the Seventh Adventist Church in Uganda Protestant Medical Bureau. Dr. Mutyaba is married. He's a doctor of good standing in the church, and you will agree we have our leaders here. So before he comes to speak to us, allow me, dear moderator, to recognize the presence of our AAYP members, especially our ASI director, the CUC, Pastor Justus Perez, who we are directly under for all the advice. Pastor Perez, please, may God bless you for making sure that AAYP is in line and is in good keeping with the church. God bless you for being here. At this moment, I want to invite Dr. Joseph Mutyaba to start sharing his slides, and then he will take us through what we need to know in this racing world so that we can all keep healthy as members of the Association of Adventist Professionals. And our visitors and well-wishers, please, I can see Joyce. Joyce is an ophthalmologist. She is not yet subscribed. Thank you for joining. Thank you, our visitors. We shall be sharing the links on how to subscribe to this association, and may God bless you. Welcome, Dr. Joseph.
Thank you, Madam President, Dr. A in the nation too, and all members who are online. I'm delighted to serve in this capacity. Today, we are going to discuss shortly about the lifestyle habits for the busy or business people, and a number of things which I would like us to pay attention to are the nature of the busy professional, the lifestyle of a busy professional. In this, we shall look at who is a busy professional, what are the risks, health risks that are around a busy professional, and why the need to have a wellness revamping in the lifestyle of a busy professional, because we find the kind of job you've gotten is where you're going to stay for the entire life until you're 60 years when you retire. So we're going to look at a number of things. So in case you have a question, in case you have, and you can jot it down so that you don't forget it. And I think the moderator will be going through those questions. If you find any which needs urgent response when still on that line, please don't hesitate to interject and ask, and we exhaust the question. We shall take a few minutes. I'll discuss through the presentation, and then we shall have the questions, and then maybe another any other business. So sorry about how the presentation was organized. I made it more detailed because when I follow the rules of presentation, I will be giving one point, but I know this presentation is going to be shared. So I wanted people who are missed or who need to read more to be able to understand. So the language used there is a layman's language for us to understand exactly what we wish to understand. Thank you so much. So starting with, we are going to do an audit for a busy professional. When you do a lifestyle audit of you as a professional, what do we see? I'll start with a question. What surprises you with your life? Or what surprises you with life? Like members who are online, what surprises you with life? Someone can say, life is weird, life is so short. You can work so hard to make life better, but then you lose it in just a short while. Some say, you find especially you know how life is. Someone reads and studies, then after graduation, they immediately die. Or someone, life surprises, life is full of surprises. But on account of a number of people, there are some cases which we have seen, which research has shown that if we do this consistently, they can improve our life. Or if we do this consistently, they can damage our lives. So to you, what surprises you? This famous gentleman called Dalai Lama, who gave this quote, which keeps flying around social media. He was asked what surprises him, and his answer was man. He said he looks at man who sacrifices his health in order to make money. When you're a professional, you sacrifice everything, increasing input in your life to make money. Because the issue is you believe money will be the solution to all your problems. So when you make money and give away the gift God has given you, that is the health, you get the money, but then you have lost the health. So you sacrifice all the money, go to Nakasero, Lubaga, everywhere, India, try to recuperate this health. You let go, you sacrifice. Then you become so anxious about the future, yet, and you don't enjoy what you sacrifice. And the result is you don't even live in the present, yet you will not yet live in the future. And when you don't live in the present, you're unlikely going to go in the future. So you live as if you're not going to die. You eat what you want, you do what you want, you don't listen to any medical guidance, you don't listen to anything, and then you die as if you've never lived. Something very small kills you, something starts small and then finally takes you on. You don't wake up, you've been driving, you just fall, you just die like you've never lived. Now, this quote is everything about what I'm going to talk about. When you do a personal reflection in your life, sacrifices you've made in your health in order to make money, you remember that these sacrifices, the money which you made sacrifice, but you won't use it, and it won't be enough because all of us are just one bill away from poverty.
Njagala multitasking nga naye kijja kundeetera obuzibu.
Grace Malaika, you can mute. So, and then what are we supposed to do? If you forget anything in this presentation, remember this life. We sacrifice a lot. You can be a doctor, you can be an entrepreneur, you can be the number of things in health with sacrifice. By the time you get money, life has gone. Remember, as you sacrifice sacrificing, would even get stressed. Some even, the number of things, and health has gone. We don't want to eat well. I'm saving, I'm doing this. Meanwhile, we have to save, we have to work. But is it going to be at the expense of sacrificing our health? No. It means we shall not even enjoy the money we made. Just one episode of sickness shall wipe it out. This is the information. This slide speaks about all. The rest you're going to talk about fall under this. Thank you so much. So in today's world, we are saying maintaining a healthy lifestyle, it's a challenge, especially in you and me. We have long office hours. People work from 8 to 8. The work pressure is just too much. Targets are like targets. Irregular eating habits. People are no longer having breakfast. They wake up at 5. They are long jams. So if someone has to bypass jam, so they're not having breakfast. They're not eating, they are not sleeping at night. They have to catch up with the programs. They are not doing any, there's minimum physical activity. Yet these are the things which are slowing down, slowly affecting your health. Whether you're a corporate employee, you are an entrepreneur, an entrepreneur has to work when the day shift is working, and also has to pass by when the night shift is working. An entrepreneur works twice than even an employee. Adapting these health lifestyle habits is essential for your wellness and productivity. Imagine you have a car, you don't take it for service, you don't rest it. It will break down. Certainly it will break down. So this is what we're talking about.
Hello, facilitator. May you kindly put the slides in full mode, do slideshow so that members can read clearly. Thank you.
I do?
Slideshow.
Yes, slideshow. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Like that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So we are going to discuss about this lifestyle habit for you as a professional that can help you improve the physical health, the mental wellness, the energy levels, and work life. As we said, life is moving fast, but what is not good, all professionals who are here and not here, health is often placed at the end of the list of priorities between work schedules. People care about other things, family, social life, and there is no time for health. And the screen time is also another issue. So it is commonly believed that if you're going to live a healthy life, you may need more time. You need to pay gyms, or you may have well-planned schedules, but there's no more time to add. We have to work with the time we have, 24 hours. So if living this health lifestyle, when you're busy, it does not imply that you want to do everything. You have to do just the right thing at the right time. If you look at those small conscious actions you make, can make a difference on every day, even if you feel the base crashing on you. When you live a healthy lifestyle in a busy schedule, you cannot create more time, but you utilize the time you have better. So health can be sustainable than stressful when we have some planning, if there's some conscious decision making, and also we make realistic expectations. Why do you put all the tasks in one day? When you can't be, this ideal kind of planning. So these habits encourage you as people who are busy to pursue them, and they help you have a better life. If you want to forget anything, remember, consistency is better than intensity. Why pile the body with so much today and break down tomorrow? why don't you do reduce on the piling, reduce on the intensity, and be consistent, and have some time to do your health lifestyle, such that before they can stay longer. When you have a car and you decide to drive it 4 corners of Uganda on one day, it will break down so fast that you drive it, then you rest it. Then you have to know how are you going to use your car for a longer period. Consistency is better than intensity. Also, something very important to note that a healthy body and mind, it improves your daily performance. What is affecting you? If you're not healthy, the body is not healthy, and the mind is not healthy, you will not have a good performance, even on very obvious things. And also, it reduces the lifestyle diseases. We are talking about diabetes. We have over 250 million, obesity, hypertension. Many people have hypertension and the complications of these diseases, heart diseases, stress, anxiety, depression, fatigue. All these are affecting the busy professionals. So we as experts would recommend that you incorporate small but effective health habits into your daily routine and have the motivation to do them. Psychology says knowledge alone is not enough to change behavior. This way looked at smoking, doctors taking alcohol, the custodians of health do the opposite thing, because knowledge alone is not enough to influence behavior change. Behavior change is influenced by this what I call a combi model. Capability is someone having the capability to change. Is it having the means to change? Opportunity, someone having the opportunity to change, and if someone is motivated to change. Motivation, opportunity, capability. So we are saying for the health wellness, you have the capability to change as the professional, whether you're employed or self-employed or you're employed. Two, you have the opportunities. We are going to look at the opportunities you can use. Motivation is what is lacking. What is your motivation towards pushing health lifestyle? When your motivation is there, things will work. So we are saying it is time to look at the practical real life tips which can lead you to build your healthy habits for busy people, because you're going to be busy until you're 60 without interrupting your daily routines, because we need you to be at the top of your performance. You need the right attitude and be smart in planning. So you need to be motivated to prioritize health, so you keep yourself healthy. It is not a stressful thing when you prioritize it. Someone told me, I remember when I was talking to some people in church, I was telling them, what can come to your mind when you see your pastor jogging? Someone was like, my pastor, when he's not putting on a suit and he's jogging, that does not look good. You think pastor is not pastor is not a human being, so you don't want the pastor to be alive. So we need to have the right attitude towards being positive, towards having health habits. Who are busy professionals? When we say professionals, it's implied that they are busy. Being busy is good, but also being too busy is certainly bad. Busy professionals, usually, these are some of the characteristics. They are not satisfied with unitasking. Ever they are multitasking. Even things they can do tomorrow, even things they can do the other day, they want to pile them on one day. So they end up pushing health aside on every day. Busy professionals believe sleep is optional. Sleep Yet they forget that if you sleep deprived, you are focus deprived. If you don't sleep, you will not be focused. I think you've seen that before. Busy professionals love the tight schedules. If someone says they have a tight schedule, they feed it. So they line up many activities. At times, even there are those tasks which are even avoidable. So that's the character of these professionals. You find they spend much of their time on devices and gadgets. Why? Because it's the only social way of catching up with others, news, getting news and information. So their eyes are glued on the screen for hours after work. So they can be worried, they can be looking at the future witches, and even they may fail even to focus on themselves. And later, it affects their vision. Because you see how vision is getting affected with overexposure to the gadgets. And we see more busy professionals putting on glasses more than the other people. It's not because others cannot afford, but because of the exposure to the gadgets. Like when you look at Hong Kong, 90% of the children and adults, even their children, for busy professionals, to contain them, they have to give them gadgets to calm them down. It's a challenge. Busy professionals do not take break offs or time offs. They forget that sitting, doing nothing slows them down and helps them develop. Like, I'm going to sit there and do what? They are busy buddies. They want ever to do something. No, but a car has moved a long journey. It has to rest. You have to have that time when you sit down. Busy professionals often fail to understand the difference between urgency and importance. Linked to what I said before, you find their to-do list is full of urgent things which are not important. And the health to them is not urgent and it's not important. So busy professionals consider themselves hard workers, but also fail to not understand that smart workers surpass hard workers. And it's usually at retirement when you realize that their time was spent in vain. You have to work to impress ABC, work at the expense of your life. I can be around all the time. You don't rest, you don't eat, you don't work. I have to impress my boss. Smart workers surpass hard workers. Why health lifestyle habits are important? As we say, because of the nature of our work, we sit for long hours. We'll be on the screen. If we work using systems, we work on the screen, upon the screen, come back at home on the screen, go to bed with the screen, the fast foods consumption. Delicious food is hard to find at our stations. So we end up eating convenience because we're in an era. For us, we grew up from an era where we had one working parent. Now, our parents grew up in an era where both parents was at home. And then us, in our generation, we grew up in an era where there was one working parent. Most likely, the dad was not working. Now, we are in an era where we have two working parents. So it means you two working parents and two working parents have all started. They have to chase their careers for the family to be stable. They are all working. They all come back late. So fast food consumption is at home, is at work, is everywhere. The high stress levels, the bigger the jobs, the bigger the money, the bigger the stress. All things are not working, stress, poor sleep cycles, and lack of exercise. So over time, these habits negatively impact your physical health and mental health. If we adapt health daily routines, we can boost our ability, improve our focus and productivity, work without playing makes someone a dull boy, maintain our body weight, support our higher heart, energy levels, you reduce the stress and anxiety, depression, promote better sleep quality, And this is what we believe is better than treatment. If you work so hard and make money and get into this problem, the heart, the body weight, the stress, and other issues, all the money you've worked for in years will be spent in just one admission. So why are you spending all your time in something that sacrificing something that can eat up your savings in just one time, in just one admission? So it's better we keep the life at check to save. Health safety is very important. One, you start your day with a health morning routine. If you have a morning routine, that's good. It sets the tone for the entire day. Avoid rushing immediately to work after waking up. Usually, wake up like 15 minutes earlier. You can use them to stretch your box. You say, I'm going to box, do my 30 boxing, kicking. I'm going to drink some water, even at least do some deep breaths. These little things, they awaken your body, and you concentrate more and kind of relieve the stress. I've shared some of the ways someone can exercise before from their room. I usually tell people we have so many Indians in Kampala, but you can never see them jogging. If they be in one room and they contain their weight, so we can also do it. So get up. If you get up early, it makes you be in control of your day. When you wake up late, everything becomes a mess. So this is a very, very important. Everything that worsens your way you want to handle that day starts by waking up late. If you wake a little early, more than your day, the day you wake up before and do some exercises, it actually be in control of that day. You could take more water after waking up. You do some stretching. Yoga is Indian way. You get a yoga mat, you sit, you meditate, you exercise, deep breathing, healthy breakfast. So immediately, mobile screens are unavoidable because you want to check on what is happening, but it's not good to rush on them immediately. This must be what start your day with the mind which is concentrated in the mood. It's like that you don't get worried. Whenever you have a mobile phone, you remember what you're going to do. It removes all the energy for you to do the exercises. That's why we're saying don't rush to them when you're doing exercises. Breakfast. People have long left their breakfast club. Very few people have breakfast. When you wake up, you're rushing, taking children to school, go for work. There's no taking breakfast. Even reaching work, there's no organized breakfast for taking in the morning. But remember, you last ate at 8 p.m. So the body is fasting. Yet you're working. So you're working on ketones. Ketones are a breakdown of fats. Missing these meals, you may think you're saving time. It's a time-saving strategy. Though, if you have this energy deficit, you're going to get fatigued so easily. So your concentration is going to fall. You'll not be very good at work. Your performance will not be good. And what happens at around 10 or 11, you start looking for what is available. And you end up in the having unhealthy dietary habits later in the day. So, as I said, the error of two working parents has resulted into this convenience eating. We eat what is available because we withdrew from breakfast. What happened? Why can't you make your breakfast in the morning? Or you get someone who can make for you breakfast and they deliver it maybe at 8 or 9, go to cut it at 5. Check that you have a healthy breakfast first in the morning. So a nutritious breakfast helps you in metabolism and improves your work productivity throughout the day. You don't cook these fancy foods. Of course, also cooking is another issue. But a healthy meal it's important for the breakfast. I was telling people, I don't eat lunch, but I eat breakfast. For the first 5 days when I'm working, I don't eat lunch. I eat breakfast. Then at lunch, I have a plate of fruits. Those ones are made from home. I come with them back. Plate of fruits from my trees. And then I eat supper because I work all through the day. So I can eat supper like sportsmen do. But some people don't want to eat breakfast. Then which energy are you going to use throughout the day? It means you're going to be tired, you want to sleep, your concentration is low, you can't be productive, you're going to be mistakes. So it also involves making more desirable decisions for you to ensure that you have this. For the breakfast, remember, as we said, because we're no longer eating breakfast and going into acidic foods, we have issues of ulcers and acid reflux among professionals. It's too much. It is too much that they can't even sleep at night. Fire is too much burning in their stomachs. They wake up. So if you have a protein, the egg, the grain, the kind of food with sauce in the morning, and some fruits, it can be very good for you to start the day when you can work. So let us all go back to the breakfast club. Don't prepare it from home, but you can get someone who can prepare for you breakfast, if it may be at work, which is nutritious, and you eat it in the morning. When you reach like this, they give you breakfast. Because usually people live at 5. Others who can have mates, they can prepare for them, and they have the meals, they take them to work. It's okay, because as we said, actually on this topic, we believe that many people forget to drink enough water during the working hours. Remember, as you work, you're sweating. As you talk, you're sweating, you're losing water, you're urinating. The body sensible losses of water from you are 0.1 times your kilogram. At 0. I've forgotten the percentage, but usually lose around 2 liters, 1.5 to 2 liters. Talking, sweating, urinating, enough, like we should in a day. So that's why we want you to keep on a positive hydration side of taking 3. But you don't take this water at once because we don't have capacity to keep free water in our body. You have to keep sipping. Every other client you sip. Every 5 minutes you sip. You take a sip. The brain are cells. Immunity cells are cells. Cells use water. When sodium, look at the child, or you even when you get diarrhea and you've lost the iron, how you feel dizzy and weak and fatigue. Look at footballers, why they invented the water breaks. When it's too hot and they lose out of water, they get fatigue. So fatigue usually is pushed further if you're hydrated. If you're not hydrated, when you're well hydrated, the ions go low, you'll be fatigued so early. If you're fatigued, it's like facing a hill immediately. You can't think, you can't do anything, headaches, low concentration, and your immunity is low. And your kidneys with this less dehydration, persistent dehydration, you're likely to lose them. And how do you regain kidneys? They have to give you another kidney from another person, or every week they put you on the metallic kidney for cleaning 3 times a week. Each time is 200,000 until your family gets tired of you. And they say that the money remaining is going to take care of other people, and they let you die. But who caused the problem? It was you, the long-standing dehydration. So, drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water daily. Yes, fresh water alone is very hard to take. You must have bottles near you. You're on the table. Don't say, how may I use the glasses? No. have a bottle, 2-liter bottle, 1.5-liter bottles on your desk. Every time a client goes, you see. Every time, no, you're not going to go to the dispenser every time, using the glasses, no. On Monday, you can flavor them with Kisudi. Tuesday, you flavor the water with cinnamon or darasini. Wednesday, you flavor it with mujaja. Thursday, you can flavor it with tangawizi. You can even have a smoothie. Like, for example, I have a smoothie. You will make a smoothie of juices. So I have like a 2-liter bottle I carry every day in the morning. I have to take me all through the day. Then I have another one for water. So I keep sipping on either side. And we reduce these sugary soft drinks because soft drinks are nothing but water with sugar. This sugar is causing obesity. Studies have shown that if a child of senior one takes one soda of 350 mils every day, they need only 4 years to become obese. Remember, you don't have physical activity. The sugar you're taking is going to add more weight. You don't have time to go and reduce that weight. So you're causing more problems to yourself. Proper hydration is essential for maintaining the overall health and mental alertness and kidney health. So it is very important to do that. Balanced diet. Follow a balanced diet. If you eat healthy, you play a major role in maintaining a good lifestyle. You know, it is very funny. A healthy food is cheaper than junk, and people fall prey of the tongue. The tongue is very misleading. Not everything that is sweet is food. What is not healthy is not food. What is healthy is food. The tongue misleads. Even poison is sweet. So if you move just by the taste of your tongue, please, madam, you're misled. Let's go back to the balanced diet. We need the vegetables. The vegetables give us the folic acid, they make blood. We have vitamins. We have a number of vitamins. They keep our nerves well, the body, the skin, the fruits. We have the vitamin C, very important in preventing infections. The whole grains, the protein-rich foods. We need our bodies to grow because bodies are made of cells, and body building is made by the protein riches. Okay? The healthy fat from fish, from the fat oils, the fiber-rich meals to stop us from having constipation. What I forgot about hydration is constipation. People have constipation, then they end up having fissures, then we have piles. So these illnesses are common in professionals. So for foods, avoid excessive junk food. You eat junk in the morning, you eat junk at lunch, you eat junk at night. Right? Someone has food, the food is fried, the sauce is fried, the greens are fried. You know, why don't we also take you and we fry you? Because everything you take is fried. So we end up having acid refluxes, issues with the ulcers, the sugar beverages, the processed foods. We should avoid all these things because our bodies, they're building them for work longer than they are. Balanced diet is very important. Protect your heart. It manages diabetes. It improves on digestion and your immunity. Number 5 is the regular exercise, as we talked about it. Many people believe that exercise involves going to the gym, and every time they pay the gym, they can't go consistently, so they pay to go because they have the schedules. No, you go whatever walks as you make the calls. Why are you using that phone on your desk? Walk up the steps. Don't use the lift. Between the calls, do something. Attempt to do something. Let me tell you something I do in Lubaga. With a month, I can see like 300 patients. But what I do, Like every patient I see, I stand up and I escort them to the next step. If they're going to the pharmacy, I escort them there. If they're going to the cashier, I escort them there. I do that for every patient I see in a room. Now, patients are happy that, you're escorting them, they feel good, but me, I calculate that I do 15 kilometers of ground work, ground type. I do, by the end of the day, I've moved 15 kilometers just by steps, because if I calculate with my watch. So for you, you're seated, phone is there, everything is there. Everyone, why? Go out, as you make calls, why are you seated? Go up, why in one place? So daily activities even played by in the household cover. So it is not the intensity of the purpose, but the consistency. This thing is over, you go to the gym once in a week, and then you do completely nothing for the rest of the 6 days. Police, you're doing a lot of nothing. Let's start with every day. The consistency, it works more than the intensity on one day. Frequent exercise, they improve on the saturation, you breathe well, you sleep. When you try to exercise, what you need, you sleep better, the mind is okay, the stress sublimes, the mood improves. So it is very, very, very important for us. So this lack of physical activity is one of the biggest health risks for us. We need at least 30 minutes every day. Those are 150 minutes in a week, moderate intensity exercises. We can walk, we can jog, we can cycle. Many these days go to the futsal pitches, the stretchings at home workouts. You can buy some of these things. You go to the garage, you can be in your bedroom, you can box, there are a number of things you can do, so that you can sweat. So they reduce the stress, they control your weight, they improve your heart, you become stable. And the stamina, you become very stable, and even your mental health. So the stress is there. How do you manage it in the professional life? Chronic stress, it can make you, we are all liable to mental breakdown. The difference is the degree. So the thermometer, you watch it as it goes up to 37, 38, 40, until you convulse. Remove your clothes, start running, you do everything until you break down. But it starts small. The depression, the anxiety. So we should read our temperature. Read your mental temperature. When your temperature, you don't hesitate to get a panel to cool down your mental temperature. You should always know all human beings are liable to break down mentally at different degrees of mental exhaustion. So practice meditation, the short breaks during work, listening to music, church music is good, spend time with the family, church fellowships. It has psychological, social support groups. You come, they sing for you, you sing with them, you stay with them, you make use of church too as therapy, psychosocial therapy. You get the therapy, avoid overworking, follow your hobbies and other things you want to involve. You should, mental wellness is equally important. Yeah, because if the body breaks down, even if you have all the ability, you will not do anything. So people should mind about their stress. And in case you have any issue, you feel depression, you talk to a psychologist, you visit a psychologist. Let's make them our people. It doesn't mean that seeing a psychiatrist, you're mad. People think, she's a psychologist, I'm not mad. No. Everyone is mad. But the degree of madness, there are some degrees where we believe that you have to be confined in Botanical. But that's like 90%. But below 90%, people are moving. We live without people. So it's just about reading the mental temperature. mental, psychological temperatures of people, even who are around us. There's when you have too much expectation from someone who's already in difficulty. There's when someone is difficult, and there's when someone is in difficulty. Someone is in a difficult situation, they are very, very angry, they're very rude. People have fatherly wounds. They grew up from broken families. They grew up from when they're suffering. They already had their share, so they have post-traumatic stress syndrome. Anything that looks like what it wants to threaten their income, you find they are very angered. So you have to mind about your stress. Let no one stress you. Don't let another person stress you. How can someone talk to me like that? I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. I want to go away from this job because the boss is stressing me. So we need to work on our mental health such that we are ready to accommodate some of these irregularities and we are not taken up by surprise. Sleep. A car moves so many kilometers, but it has to rest. Even your body runs from the time you wake up, it has to rest. Sleeping is essential for body recovery and mental relaxation. So lack of sleep reduces productivity and increases stress. Man is supposed to sleep for 7 to 8 hours a day. We're supposed to avoid screens before bedtime and sleep. Sleep hygiene says the phone does not enter the bed, and you enter the bed only when you want to sleep. When you look at white light, especially from the phone, it delays sleep. So we have to ensure we have some time, we look at them, then we pause them, then we give time for the body to rest. We have to maintain a fixed sleep schedule because there's what they call a circadian rhythm. It keeps changing. If we are not, if we keep, you don't, they sleep at this time, the other day you sleep at the other time, the other day you sleep at the other time, it affects you. Avoid the heavy meals late at night, less than 3 hours before sleep. If you decide to sleep at 8, you have to sleep at 11. Because food has to get out of the stomach to avoid acid reflux issues. That could be, if you're eating at night like me, you have to exercise at night. To ask those 3 hours, don't sit there waiting as you're watching a movie. You exercise so that you use the body, you use the time well. So if you sleep well, the brain will function better. Your immunity will be good. The mood and the energy levels will be good. So sleep is one of the first things individuals compromise once the life becomes hectic. So if you deprive yourself from sleep, you certainly affect your productivity, immunity, mood, and in the long run, your health. So you have to keep a good bedtime and be able to sleep as quickly as possible. You have to limit number of times in front of the screen. It can be less than 30 minutes in the evening before going to sleep. It's like that you build this relaxing evening routine, you dim the lights, you eat light, you limit caffeine from the teas and the consumption and coffee that are going to deny your body sleep. So that we reduce the number of times we sleep using pills. Sleeping pills are common in professionals. Sleeping pills are common in professionals. And sleeping cannot be compromised. It is easier to keep all other habits proper when you're well rested. When people are stressed, they have businesses unfinished, they are thinking about losses, they're thinking about loans, they tend to want to infringe on sleep. We are saying, write your things down. Allow your body to rest. Because even if you wake up the entire night, you're not going to solve it. You have to, the head has to be fresh to think about the stress we have. Many professionals sleep using sleeping pills, which is a wrong thing. We have to work on our mental health, our stress, One day we have to accept. We have to accept everything that, okay, for us in the hospital, we do our part. But when God says this patient is going to die, it pains. But then, if we've done our part, we let God do what His will is. So you try what you're supposed to do today, but don't fail to sleep because you're thinking, yes, you have an issue in your relationship, but the moment you don't sleep, you're going to even get more angry. And solving things when you're angry, when your head is not in a straight line, is just going to make things worse. In the morning, when you're angry with everyone, the interpersonal relationships with your workmates, everything that's on the road. Oh, someone just looks at you, and my friend, someone wants to kill somebody. You become, you're stressed. You're stressed just sometimes. Someone just makes a joke and it's a problem. Why? Stress infringes on that sleep. So the body is stressed, the body is fatigued, and it can't handle. The other thing, eating habits, as we talked about it, acid reflux is common in professionals. Oily foods and acidic drinks are very common in as breastfeeding foods. We have to change this, otherwise most professionals are on omeprazole, acid, Rosa because of this acid and what they're drinking. Caffeine and these other things also are useful in the morning when you're going to work to keep your body. That's why you take it in the morning to keep the brain alert. It's a good habit. It makes it stimulates your body to be alert so that you can serve. Large meals, no. At night when you're just going to sleep. Professionals, we recommend you skip these high-fat foods before bedtime and refrain from eating for the last after that in 2 hours before sleep. Also, limit your screen time before bed. We've seen that people who overview the screens, sleep takes long to come. So if you think I don't have sleep, then leave you on my phone, you're just on the negative spiral, you won't have sleep. Because of that white light, the way it affects you. And the eyes, we're talking about, we have the eye exercise. We have to ensure that our eyes are in check. We are losing sight. We are having myopia, 2.2 billion in the world, and it's anticipated in the next, by 2050. If nothing is done, you're going to have 5 billion. And eyes are very expensive. The thermometer of one eye for the fundoscopy they used to see the eye is at 1 million. We see many children, we are, instead of using the bricks and the blocks and the what, we are on gadgets. Our phones, there's no eye protection, but the exposure to the eyes, if we were to work, we need to ensure our diet has the carrots, has the pumpkins, the vitamin A's that are going to enable us to rejuvenate our vision, which is at stake. As a professional, I know we are talking about professionals. Smoking and alcohol is bad. And smoking and alcohol has many issues. I will not spend much time on this because people know about them. The heart, the liver, the lungs, everything. So some people, when they get stressed, they tend to think that when they take some alcohol, it will relieve their stress. No, it just causes the stress for a minute. Like what goes up must come down. When you take alcohol and go up, you remember when it gets off your head, you have to calm down and finish. So it does not solve the problem. It does not solve the problem. So face the problem with ideal solutions. The things you can't manage, let them. You know, this life, insecurity take upon your mind. You try your best, yeah, but you have to live today. So let's not say can significantly improve our wellness and longevity if we get away with smoking and alcohol. Lastly, regular health checkups. When did you last do your regular checkup? If I have to ask many of the people I know, they own cars, Yeah. How often do you do your car servicing? When do you take your car for servicing? What's the use of your garage? When you go to the garage, to some people, you only take a car to the garage using the towing, break it down. That's the only way their cars go to the garage. Then to others, they follow the trend. After 4,000 kilometers, 5,000 kilometers, I go to the garage and they do service. Of the two people, if you have a new car and you want to keep it for long, you got to know how the system works. You got to take it for service periodically, and this keeps you on top of it, that you know as it gets old, certainly it will get disease. If disease comes into the engine, you'll be able to identify it early and deal with it than waiting for it to compensate. There's when it gets sick, faulty, and it compensates, and you continue driving it without going until it decompensates. Cars always decompensate when you're in the middle of Madida. It can never stop when you're near the garage. It will always hit you a lesson. The brakes will always hit you a lesson when you're just, that's how cars are made. So even our bodies. Imagine you take your car for servicing and you want to keep your car healthy, such that you can drive it for a longer time. But you as a driver, God has given you the temple, which is your body. You do not have interest to know how your body functions. You do not have interest to know how one part of the body or one system of the body affects the other. You left everything for the doctors. But who dies? It is you. Doctors, you left them. The doctors, you left everything for you. They only write for you the certificate. So the life belongs to you. It does not belong to the doctor. The car belongs to you. It does not belong to the mechanic. I'm interested to know what happens. And, preventive healthcare is important also in the early diagnosis of these diseases. You see, many people wait to see a doctor until they are not feeling well. So it means they are like taking their cars on the towing. So people go to the hospitals with the ambulance. But then if you have a problem, then you go to hospital. Then you're already reacting to a problem. Wellness checkups means you don't feel anything, but periodically have to go and check so that you keep the disease at bay. So wellness checkups help you get these issues early before they develop and worsen. And it involves a meticulous doctor-patient relationship where there's a consultation and someone gets to know you, your history, your risk factors, everything, the family. So this primary care provider is very important for you. It's a quarterback. So it tracks your history and says, in your family, your uncles have prostate cancer. I've lost 4 uncles to prostate cancer. I have also a body. I know I'm at risk. So I can't. You've lost your aunties to breast cancer. You are also there. You keep quiet. How can a disease kill your grandfather? It goes on to kill your father, and it goes on to kill you. How can 3 generations? What were you doing? Do you have you ever done a wellness check? So it's something that we need to think about. Guidelines are changing every time, but you need to have that doctor, that primary wellness doctor, who can track your life. It can be every 3 months, every 6 months, every 1 year. It's not about going to do a million tests. No. Some can be done in, there are those which can be done at intervals, but you have to have that. Second, in case of anything, someone knows where you're starting from. So guidelines keep changing, as I say, keep following up your life. This kind of way, in Africa, wellness is seen as luxury. Someone even gets annoyed. They've taken my money for nothing. No. Do you know how your organs are function? Yes. Okay. What should I do? This and this. Okay. it keeps you on top of your health. It's not true that pain is the indicator that you're not feeling well. Some people wait for pain to go to hospital. But there are few illnesses that cause pain. Most serious illnesses don't cause pain early. Talk about cancers, talk about diabetes, talk about pressure, talk about a number of things. You see, hypertension. It is responsible for 67% of people who have strokes. 67. Responsible for 50% of people who have issues with the eye blindness. Talk about 95% for people who have heart issues, pressure. 70% of people who have kidney issues, pressure. So, but pressure develops slowly. You're getting old. You can't check your pressure. How can you spend 3 months not knowing your blood pressure? Just checking. They check with them and know you're eating junk, you're eating what, you're working on high pressure. It's very, very sad. Very, very sad and very upset. We need to wake up. We need to have the right intention. Someone says, what are you looking for every time you check in? You'll find it. You continue going for checkup, you'll find it. Oh, that money. Yeah, I have school fees and what? Yes, you want to save for other things, but when the health strikes, your family is left in muddy waters. So please, for the sake of your family, for the sake of your wife, you say you love so much, for the sake of your children, for the sake of your vision, always do your checkups from organized facilities. So these routine labs are very important. We can discover hypertension, we can discover depression, we can discover cancer. If you've had any other reason, a doctor can easily trace. The other time it was like this, now it's getting like this. So it's like swimming upstream. It's much easier when you stay ahead of the health issue than waiting for it. Because by the time it comes, you may not have ability to contain. So liaise with your wellness specialist or a doctor to periodically have a package that suits your history and your age. For example, you have diabetes, definitely your frequency changes. If you have, check your eyes, check your cholesterol, check your blood sugar, check your blood. You check continuously. Do have a check. When you have a check onto this, when you check your body, it will keep you positive and you will stay longer in your good health. So busy professionals, please prioritize to take care of your lives. Lastly, we are given medication for illnesses we have, malaria, back pains, a number of issues, but busy professionals never take medicines. They say they are busy, they forgot to take medicine because they are working. So if you claim you're busy and even fail to manage the disease which has been confirmed, how will you go for wellness? Hospitals are open during day and night and even weekend. You can go anytime and do your wellness check. But please, if you have any disease, don't say I can't take medicines. Find a way of having your medicine and take them in time. If it is 3 times, take it. Because these are the same illnesses which are going to worsen and make you lose those jobs and you lose your lives and you get complications. And then you say, we have to prioritize to take our medications in the right dose. Everyone can get sick. Everyone can have a certain illness. Control the illness. If you control it early, you certainly be on top of your game. Nutritional supplements. It is something that we cannot go away with, especially with the professionals. Women, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. Men, nutritional supplements are something we are running to because we can't have healthy meals in the morning, at lunch, at time. So we get low on nutrients, which are very crucial for our bodies. Our immunities. You've heard of whale woman, it gives them nutrients. We have ginsomins, we have a number of them which give which gives some of these vitamins that help men and women stay healthy. The energy, the bond, we work inside buildings, we wake up early to avoid jam. We come back late when the sun has gone. What has happened after a year? My bones are paining, my body is paining, I feel fatigued. What? The issue is vitamin D. The disease used to be for business people, professionals abroad, but it has come to Uganda. Vitamin D, if you check in Lubaga, last month we did close to 500 tests of vitamin D, but up to 450, they were below 20. Someone has to have 100. Now, if you do 500 people and over 450, they are below 20. Like out of 100, you need to have 20. Some are at 8, some are at 5. It means exposure to the sunlight has reduced markedly. So vitamin D supplements, those ones we take. There's some we take every week. Some we have an injection every month. So long as you don't have enough exposure to the sun and the face of the body more than 30 minutes, we have blacks. So we have screens, the melanin. And even now, because of sunscreens, they told them that if you sunscreens, those skins are going to be fine. So vitamin D is not vitamin. So supplements are there. Heart health, also we have supplements, the omega, depending on what the doctor has advised. So supplements should always be taken under healthcare guidance, not just going for the pharmacy and acquire them. In conclusion, a healthy lifestyle, it's not about having very strict diets and difficult routines. So definitely, there are free times when you're on the party, there are free times. It's about making these small, consistent, and practical changes every day. So you as busy professionals, healthy eating, the regular exercise, the good sleep, the stress management, and the preventive health care where we do wellness will help us be better. So if you adopt this kind of lifestyle, it's going to make us more productive, you have more energy, we will have more, the mental wellness will be okay, and our overall quality of life. And even after retirement, we shall be having healthy bodies to take us through post-retirement. So I call upon you, professionals, to love your bodies. Listen to your bodies, love your bodies. Wellness is not a luxury. Even if you rush, you crash. Always plan to incorporate health behaviors within your routine, because this kind of work you're doing is just getting more busy and more busier, and at once at 60 years, you have to retire when you've lost the health God gave to you. And recapitulating that health back will take all your savings you've been saving in just one episode, and even your children and your grandchildren will have to pay for you to recapitulate the health you neglected. So since we are still energetic, let's look into it. Let's prioritize. It's just a mindset. Let's just have the right mindset. Let health be prioritized. Let's have those small things done consistently. We are going to be sure that we're going to live long. So I call upon all of you to think about this. Don't let it stop on you. Talk to your colleagues, because you're saying this is your colleague. I think someone who will pay you when they die, who will cancel your programs to go and buy. It's important to tell this good message to prevent than to wait. Then they see that now let's do at least that someone has died. Have you ever talked to them about wellness? Have you ever talked to them about health living? Have you ever talked to them? So it depends more. So we need to be proactive to our communities, to our people, to ensure that we look at life in a much better way than we've been looking at. Thank you so much for listening to me. I beg to submit.
Wow, that was very, very Awesome. Thank you very much, our presenter. If you look at the screen right now, a lot of love, a lot of reactions is coming through. Kindly receive them as representatives or as cordial appreciation to you. Well, colleagues, we have at most 30 minutes again to interact. And this is the order I want to offer to us. I had earlier on requested you to utilize the chat. I monitored the chat carefully, but I've not seen any of the comment come through. So right about now, we are going to utilize quick questions as well as comments using the order of putting up the hand. But just to summarize, this night we've had a presentation packaged up to 10 points. Very, very important 10 points. So as you look through the list, please, we are going to share the recording for this session on our YouTube channel, just to show you. Here is our YouTube channel. Even for the previous recording we had, that was on building a startup business while still employed. The video is here. All you have to do is just to go to your YouTube and type in Association of Adventist Young Professionals. Of course, you can also get the links from our other socials, like on LinkedIn, like on X. I see the hands already coming through, as I'll be reminding you through what I've learned individually, very, very impactfully. I want to link and probably listen to you, at least to also get feedback. Madam Elena, please, your hand is up. I don't know, either comment or question. Gladly welcome.
Thank you very much, dear moderator, and thank you, our presenter. I personally have a question and something to add on to what we have learned this evening. From my experience, we tend to come in so late. By the time you start having high blood pressure or headaches or joint pains or the back is paining me, I've realized that probably that is the body that is the final cry. Actually, we can say the final cry, as our presenter said, things start early. So for those young people who are still here, don't feel like you're so fine. You cannot start positive living. I hope when you go through the slides, you pick points so that we can all stay alive. And then the question I had for the presenter, he mentioned that we don't have to skip breakfast. So, what is your take on intermittent fasting? Because a number of studies have been done, and people are using intermittent fasting to lose weight. I'm a little bit guilty because it has helped me, and that includes at least not skipping breakfast so that you can you can be able to reduce the fat. And actually, this works after other methods have refused. As professionals, we don't have time. Okay, we need to create time, but sometimes it's difficult to go to the gym, start jumping, sweating. Yes, you may throw in a few walks here and there, but what is your take on intermittent fasting, which actually has been proven to work and help professionals? I submit, moderator. Thank you.
Well, I very clearly articulated. Thank you, President. I think the order will be responding the question as they come through. Colleagues, you are free to put up your hand as well use the chat ultimately to offer correspondences. But immediately, let me invite our doctor to respond to that question. Dr. Mutyaba, back to you.
Fasting is one of the good ways we can make our bodies switch from primarily utilizing sugar to utilizing fat. It's the importance. If you still are this person who, when you skip a meal, you shiver, you can't think, you can't work, it means your body is primarily utilizing sugar as the main fuel. So intermittent fasting comes to change that switch, such that the body can be able to utilize the fat. And people who are utilizing fat, it means they can even skip a meal and they continue. But what you're saying, someone who's having intermittent fasting, Imagine you last ate at 8 and 8 p.m. and you're married, then in the morning you're not eating, you are at a very high intensity, intense workstation. At midday there, you find yourself not, the mind may not be working right. So what we're saying is, even in a intermittent fasting, we're looking at reduce the sugar and have other kinds of food that the body can be motivated to change its switch. So fasting is good so long as it's okay for you. Thank you.
Powerful. So, colleagues, you're aware we have to fast. And maybe some members would think that when the church calls up fasting, because of the precautions, doctors' orders, they are not going to participate. And thank you for clearly articulating. Another comment comes from a comrade here. He uses Opophone. He didn't rename properly, but through the chat. He says, "Thank you, Dr. Mutyaba, for the presentation. It was really informative. My problem about going for checkups is raising misdiagnosis in our hospitals. What really is going on? What really is going on, and what can we do about it?" A brother or sister raises a concern here about apparently, as he says, the misdiagnosis happening in some of the hospitals. And the question, doctor, is how do we go about that? Back to you.
Thank you so much. Well, it's the work of the Ministry of Health and the council to wipe out those who do things maybe in a non-professional way. But despite that still happening, we are certain that professional people are still there. If you go to recognized institutions, if you go to Arena, Midland Healthcare, if you come to Lubaga, if you go to recognized institutions where people are not broke making money, you certainly get the results. But otherwise, also us have been swayed by the beaver organics, the what. You find someone goes and they just give them something to touch their hand. They tell them they have prostate cancer. They touch their legs, then they give them a graph that it is weird that even professionals are swayed by such. So where do you go with this doctor? So it depends. It's the same thing as having a car. You just decide to go to every mechanic you find, or everyone who wears like a mechanic. You certainly, but if you go to Shell, if you go to Total, if you go to registered kind of garages, you most likely going to get the right thing. So I bring it back to you also. Where you do your wellness from? Because this world is so big to control you. There are some people you cannot wipe out because you're not the one who put them there. Thank you.
Very powerful. And that is why, as Association of Adventist Young Professionals, besides the overarching mission to really support each other, we are to really utilize the experiences members have. So on call, even as you go through our workshop physically, we always interact, but even in the various social media platforms, we have already authentic and credible practitioners who are Adventist, and they can really help us. So I think a summary through that doc is that we have to utilize very authentic, very credible, and probably good hospitals or healthcare systems. Now, this is from Joy. She draws appreciation to you for informative presentation. But our question is, besides the cervical, breasts, and prostate cancer, can other cancers also be screened and diagnosed early? That's the question. maybe I can also put this. This is Moses Kayanja. Doc, of recent, I had put a stop of regular checkups. My friends told me that chenonya njachifuna. But now I have courage to go back. Thanks for the presentation. I think this is appreciation from Brother Moses following the guidance you gave earlier. Otherwise, I want to invite you again to clarify on joy. Colleagues present, please let's use the chat. But you're also free at such an opportune time to put up your hand and probably articulate it verbatively. Doctor, over to you for the issue of joy. Thank you.
Chononya jakifuna wekebeza HIV ononya waki. Just having HIV results in the house when the madam didn't know is also a problem. You know, we have different attitudes of where people when to checkups as there's so many things mixed which are with checkups. Why are you checking? Why are you checking? What happened? What did you do? Why are you over checking? What are you looking for? Please don't listen to those stories. We need to keep checking because our bodies, we are in constant attack. Disease is on the other side and we are on this side. Disease is continuously attacking us. So by the time you wake up, the tortoise would be near the finishing line. When you, the deer who thought that you have all the muscles, can't really save yourself. So the issue is at other illnesses, yes. When you do organ tests, we have cancer markers from head to toe. We have cancer markers of breast, cancer markers of thyroid, cancer markers of pancreas, cancer markers of lung, cancer markers can be of any. There are so many cancer markers. Arthritis, we have a number of things, organ tests. We have investigations talk about clots, the scans, the Dopplers, they talk about the heart attacks. We have markers, so many things can be done. Yeah, so it is always good to track. Yeah, if you track early, if you get on top of it, for example, I'll tell you, one of the most cancer which is killing women in our community, it is cervical cancer. It is not that they don't have knowledge. No. It's because the method we use to screen, it's what women of 50 years and above are not comfortable with. Someone talked delivering that 40 is now 60 years. We are telling her you go, split yourself, and we check every 3 years, every 3 years. If they don't have pain, they will refuse. And that's how this cancer has been able to grow from the tip where it comes from. It even eats up the uterus and it spreads. How can it become the most, the highest cancer which is killing people here? Women. It kills women in 60 years, 70 years, when they are needed to get their daughters and their sons in their young marriages. Because they don't want to check. So it's the same.
Yes,
By the
Kangole.
It is the same as the prostate. Men with prostate, someone can go up to 60 years and they get prostate cancer when they have never checked. When even it was the disease that killed their parent and even their grandfather, even their uncle, what is happening? So everything can be checked. If you go to see a doctor, he looks at the history, he looks at the risks. That's why they ask you, your aunties, your uncles, your first generation. And we read from there. Even your lifestyle, what has been happening before, they do a checkup and see. So you keep a file, which continuously going to be. So it means you have to keep track with your doctor. These things of This irregular, I do it from Masaka, another one I do it from this, another one I do from this. Me, I just want to go and do the test. I can interpret for myself. You need to have someone. You need a doctor, you need a lawyer, you need a security person, like the way the president said. You need to have someone who knows you, who can call and say, yes, but you need a mechanic. Thank you so much.
Very powerful. Thank you very much, Doc. So, colleagues, I want to appreciate you for following closely. There's still room to articulate through asking a question verbatively. But of course, through the chat, we want to receive the comment coming from our member Joy, expressing our appreciation to the speaker. Whereas Brother Moses Chanja earlier on articulated Chononyo Jachifuna claim friends shared to him, but of course, reverting that following the guidance. There's another question from him, and that is, the doc, what can we do with the quality of food in Uganda? Aflatoxins, bad chemicals still being used in Uganda to spray fruits. Doctor, we invite you to make a comment on that. But as well, friends, I still invite you to interact with us through the chat or through putting up their hands. So, Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Aflatoxin usually come with nuts. When the nuts, for example, the ground nuts, the pea, the chipoli, when it's made, it has to be eaten fresh or up to a certain time. And if it delays in the shops, especially those which used to be put in sacks, and it stays long, the aflatoxins tend to be more, the poisonous kind of chemicals, they tend to be formed more. So when you eat such peanuts, they can lead to liver. There's a risk of you getting liver cancer. Look at most of our parents, the peanuts they take, they like grinding them for themselves. Or when you're taking peanuts, you take the fresh one. Yeah, there are those fresh ones which they sell from the buckets, those kind of things. You go to a place where you know they quickly move, they bring fresh ones. UNBS tries as much as possible to look out for these aflatoxins from companies which are bringing out because they test them. But as I said, the longer they stay, the more the aflatoxins can come. Not every aflatoxin is going to lead to a liver problem, but it's a risk. So we continuously check. If we check the alpha fetoproteins when they're rising, we tell you put a stop on eating peanuts, because aflatoxins are usually marked them by the alpha fetoprotein, which you can check in the blood. We have no control about the poisons. People believe that when they spray the cabbages, as the cabbages fall, the drug enters and the folds of the cabbages, then it stays. Then there's but these are organophosphates. These organophosphates, and eaten in small quantities, the body is able to actually get rid of them. Eaten in high quantities, like someone who's decided to take the spray, for example, say organophosphate poisoning, they can affect you, but we see people are able to get better with them. It's something we have no control because they use them to remove the pests which are killing the plants. But the concentration of them eating them in very high quantities is unlikely, unless we find that such are being sprayed on the grass, and the cows have eaten the grass, and then we eat the cows. Then that's how, like DDT spraying, which used to cause a problem. That's when we could be very concerned that the concentration of of the organophosphates will be so much into our bodies. But we have all other bodies in check of such, and I don't think we should fear. We should use these things, wash them, green than what we wash them before they enter our houses, and then we use them because we benefit from the ingredients in them. Thank you.
That's very powerful. And doctor, not me alone saying it's powerful, but through the chat, if you look through, our president, brother Frank, brother Dan, is all great, are all grateful for the presentation. However, just to wrap up with the concerns, Dan, of course, like said earlier on, expresses great thanks to you for the good presentation. He asserts that he has been doing the exercises, which is very good as per the guidance, sometimes going to the gym, but the problem is inconsistency. I don't know if there's a comment you have to make on that. He articulates consistency as against the principle you've made. Nathan, yes.
My
question
is to Dan. You have a full bedroom, you have a sitting room, you have a garage. Why do you have to go to the gym in the morning and drive, and then you have no time? Why don't you have something? Why don't you do your exercises in your room? What is all that big space for? So that's what we are saying. What is all this big space for? You use the list. Because you need to sweat, you need to work. Going to the gym in the morning to get motivated with others. When you're able, you go. But when you're not able, you're home. Yes. The issue is do it.
Very
Let your
powerful.
home also.
That's very powerful. That alongside that schedule, Dan should just utilize the space available. Well, also from a comrade or professional Nathan, he asks at what stage does chronic kidney disease begin, especially in the elderly persons, and probably asks how do we prevent it?
The kidney is the filter of the body. It has over 2 million filters called the nephrons, which are supplied by very small vein source for the efferent and efferent. It's able to remove the salt, excess salt, and the wastes from the body, urea, creatinine. It's the kidney, as blood passes through its small veins, that realizes that the body is acidic, acid and base balance, so it influences even your breathing to change if your body is acidic. It's the kidney which senses that your blood level is low in red blood cells as they pass through, and it secretes the hormone called erythropoietin that informs the bone marrow to secrete more blood, HB. It's the kidney which actually informs the body that which activates vitamin D to become a hormone called vitamin D3 calcitonin that increases the absorption of vitamin D in your intestines and pushes the vitamin D into your bones and strengthens your bones. That kidney is kept alive by taking water. The two things which damage the kidney are dehydration and fever. Soldiers don't have, the reason why soldiers and people in the field have more cases of kidney disease is because of the nature of work. They're in the field, they don't take water. If you follow the American soldiers and the European soldiers, they ever have bottles on them. But our soldiers on their uniforms, you count 10 of them before you see one who has a bottle. They're not hydrated. And you go to that sunshine of Nakasongola, you go to that sunshine of Karamoja, you know, in the field, in the training, certainly the kidney is going to fail. You first get acute kidney injury, you get acute kidney failure within 3 months, and then it progresses, it becomes chronic kidney disease. It can be stage 1 as a percentage, it goes on reducing. So the kidney starts failing with dehydration and fever. So whenever there is fever, remove the fever. You want to remove the fever, hydrate. That's why diarrhea and the likes, vomitings, even malaria are it makes the kidneys very risky. So elderly, they are weak, they can't take, they need to be motivated to take. So their intake is low and they don't want their test buds are not as they used to be, or they have other illnesses. Drinking is low, no one is going to motivate them. Kidneys are going to suffer. Even us, we don't take enough water, we are sweating, we're in the sun, kidneys are going to suffer. So we have to protect our kidneys and sip every 5 minutes. Not take too much water at a time because the next 30 minutes you go to and remove all the water. The body is at homeostat, means it maintains a constant concentration of salt. So if you put excess free water, in the next 30 minutes, it will have to go out. That's why people pinch the water with some salt to be like darrows, to be like normal saline, such that it does not cause you to urinate, and especially people who are in a field. Or you have to take a sip every 5 minutes, a sip or 2 sips every 5 minutes, such that the water is not enough to make you go and urinate. So a sip every 5 minutes for the full day, the body will be able to contain the water you are taking. So that's how white snake water, if you look at the way white snake water, they sip, they sip, another sip, and that's how they go. This is the way we have to hydrate our bodies. Not to say, I'm going to wake up in the morning, I take my 3 cups, you've squared 1. 1 squared is 1. You've done nothing. Thank you so much.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you very much, Doctor, for articulating clearly. But just to add, Dr. Ellen has shared through the chat a very, very important text. She says, yeah, the key is not for us to wait till get old. She recommends that we protect it now by screening either annually. And if we discover there's one with high BP or diabetes, we treat it. Okay, sip water after every minute. That's new. Oh, Joy, thank you very much for articulating and probably adopting it. We look forward. We pray that the Lord will help us all. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very, very good hour as we've interacted and again shared. I want to hope that's all what members had. Observing that there is no coming through the chat, observing that there is no putting up the hands. I express gratitude to you. What was fascinating to me personally was the experience shared by the doctor, that at least for every patient he supports, if he's to recommend the pharmacy, is going to the lab, he has to accompany them. And that to the patient, whereas it looks very nice, to him it is physical exercise. I observed that during that comment, majority of you hit the reaction button and clapped, but it was some good advice to us. So thank you very much, Doctor. It has been very edifying. Now, just to wrap up, those of you who joined late after the presentation had started, please don't get worried. We have our YouTube channel here where all the recordings are always shared, and probably other important series of messages are. This has been the second episode of the virtual monthly fellowship, following the other fellowship of June, which was building up a startup business. So you can go watch the recordings for all these fellowships from our YouTube channel. And I want to engage you to follow us on our socials. Of course, even here on YouTube, I ask you to leave a like, leave a subscription on LinkedIn, and then probably on X, on Facebook. Please like and engage with us so that we can grow and probably also extend this to other members. I want to hope that as the president communicated that we'll have a physical fellowship, while we wait for that time, we still utilize these recordings to share with other members. Now, with all those remarks, I want to wrap up by inviting the president, Madam Elena. I want to take this privilege to invite you to offer the closing remarks, and if possible, we'll have the closing prayer. But before that, let me invite back the doctor to make the conclusive remarks. Dr. Joseph? Okay, I think there's some technical issue. Madam President, I want members you to join me and we cordially welcome the President with at least a reaction hand clap or some flowers. Hit the reaction button. Thank you, colleagues, for that love. Madam President, Dr. Elena, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, our moderator, and thanks everyone who has taken off time to join in. Dennis, am I offering the closing prayer or only closing remarks?
Are you offering the closing remarks? And if possible, Elder J.F. Muhindo or Brother Mumbere Kisomo will offer the closing prayer.
Okay, that's good. So closing remarks, I think for the professionals, one thing that we are also not good at, since we are chasing the world, is we are not good at setting boundaries. We have so many expectations. Everyone is expecting everything from us, and they want us to do it to their expectation. That is not very healthy. So it is a little bit of a challenge to set boundaries, but we must. Because remember, like we have learned, our bodies are only one, and they're only giving us the chance when we are still younger. So the time is going to come when you can't even, they'll just put you on a wheelchair, put him there in the sun. They will dictate what you have to eat, dictate what, you will not have freedom because you have not been able to take care of yourself. So as professionals, we have that challenge because we have we have deadlines and deadlines and deadlines. So I pray that God really enables us to understand where we are, and let's be intentional. May God give us the mind, the willingness to set boundaries so that we can be healthy. And thank you for attending. Thank you, our presenter. I submit.
Very powerfully submitted. Thank you, Madam President. I will now take the other singular honor to invite Brother Mumbele to offer the closing prayer.
Thank you, dear moderator, and the speaker of the day and our president. Just to get it, so we can just humble ourselves and then offer the word of prayer. Almighty Father in heaven, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for the blessing of life and the opportunity to serve with you. We want to thank you for the leadership you gave us and for the fellowship we have had this evening, in which you have learned some lessons to help us care for our lives and take that responsibility of caring for ourselves while we are still young. We pray that through the human servant, what we have learned may be put into use, and we are able to care for the place that can be able to make us serve you and our fellow friends and families. As we move up and down, looking for what to eat, what to dress, what to enjoy, may we recall that we have that solemn role of caring for our bodies, that above all we are able to glorify you with our bodies. Guide us as we go into sleep this evening and night. Give us a peaceful rest till tomorrow. We pray this trusting and believing In the name of our Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen. Amen. So, colleagues, I want to appreciate you for joining in. This is where we end today. Looking at the chart, again, Comrade Upward said, I thought we are to take 5 liters of water. I am learning a new tactic, a sip in every 5 minutes. Thanks, Lord. With all these good remarks and very good session today, I want to wish us a very good night and ask that you tune yourself to following our handles, to attending later next month if you're invited, and probably ask God to bless you. Till then, I wish you all the best. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much, Miss Mutyaba.
You're welcome.
Good night, too.